All right. Got a stream. Delay Llama, I gotta turn you down a little bit, buddy. I'm sorry. I love you. I will always love you. Cafe music, where are you?
No.
That's loud. Let's turn that down. A little bit more. A little bit more. I think it's probably okay. There? Maybe too quiet. Oh, that's probably fine. It's probably okay. It's good. Is it good enough? I'm going to say good enough. Following for drama. Drama Mondays. We could have talked about this yesterday. When did this originally happen? When was this created? You know, if there's the one thing you learn to do, October 8th, 2 days ago. Jesus, drama moves fast. God damn. Damn. Drama. For once, I'm not involved in the drama. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We did it. I'm not in trouble. And I didn't get anyone else in trouble. I am now. No, I'm just commenting on it. I'm just talking about it. I'm introducing myself into it. I really. All right. Let me be extremely clear. The only time I end up on Reddit anything is if one of you guys posts something, or if I'm doing a Google search and the thing I'm looking for pops up there, because, or if I'm looking up an ISPO build. If I'm looking for a review of something, what's happened now, this pisses me off so much. If you want to find an honest review of something and say you're searching for, I don't know, portable USB chargers, and you go to Google portable USB charger reviews, you get like 20 pages of like top 10 best USB chargers reviewed. And it's literally just like the top 10 Amazon things, copy and paste it on there. Like you look for like, what's the best external sound card? And you get a page and it's like, well, we found this $10 external USB card with no name on it. We think it's one of the best. You really gotta find, you gotta dig though. Like CNET, The Verge, Wired, Linus, any number of YouTube channels, will actually maybe sometimes do some testing, but sometimes you'll click a YouTube video and it'll be the same thing as those top 10 lists, and it's just a robot reading it out on the YouTube page. Sacred J, thank you.
For 7 months.
So I want to be very clear, there was a moment that happened with me personally. It was like 2.5, 3 years ago on my state subreddit. And when I got involved in it, I got so angry, I swore I would never go on Reddit again. And I deleted the Reddit app off of my phone and off of my iPad. And I logged out of everywhere, and I have not, outside of like maybe throwing like one 15-second clip onto like the Monster Hunter Rise because I thought I saw something funny. Outside of that, I have not been back. Comes crawling back to Reddit for the nectar of drama? I mean, is it drama? I find the concept of not Monster Hunter subreddit necessarily, not Monster Hunter meta subreddit, but like the concept of Reddit moderators is very entertaining to me. I don't know why, but I find it very entertaining. About 2 years ago, I had a friend who is their friend live streamed on Reddit, and they moderated the stream. And he was asking me questions because I'm a professional internet clown. And he's like, what am I going to be able to do if I'm not there to moderate his live stream? And I was like, does he pay you? He's like, it's really important that the stream gets moderated. And I'm like, is it? Is it really, though? I mean, what's going to happen? Yeah, really? You suck. I think your stream is garbage. No! You let that comment get upvoted. No! It's very nice. God bless the moderators for being there and helping out. But unless you're like, you know, top 100 number, you know, I think there's some streamers large enough to regularly pay their moderators. I mean, it's a very nice thing that you can do. You know, I do most of the moderation. I see Amatsu and Fume will sometimes kick out a spam bot, or if somebody's particularly egregious. But it's a nice thing that you do to help improve a community. But it's not something that you need to be like thinking of on an hourly basis. Is this being moderated well enough? Not everyone is okay with chat talking about the streamer's anus all day. I mean, you could use auto mod. Like if you were truly uncomfortable, you could put anus in auto mod. It's definitely not near the 3,000 mark. That is definitely not true. But with that out of the way, Monster Hunter meta. There were a couple things I want to talk about. I touched on it a little bit with my thoughts, just about Reddit and moderation in general. I guess the first part is I kind of want to talk about like what is like a meta even mean in Monster Hunter anyways. It used to be really easy. Tell Jen to say hi. She's shy. I mean, she can if she wants. Like in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, honestly, in the vast majority of your matchups, you're going to have something like Sarah Scimitar on Great Sword, or Copper Blaganga. And that's just because they got like 320 or 330 raw and natural purple sharpness. And purple sharpness is so broken in that game that even without doing a lot of math, you can be like, all right, that's probably going to be the best weapon there. Now with Monster Hunter World, in theory, you could really dial it down. Let's say you had access to every decoration in the game, all combinations, get your Fatalis garbage on. It wouldn't be that hard to go through and punch into a calculator and figure out the absolute highest damage. But I feel like now, it was a little bit with Rise, but especially with Sunbreak. Like, you gotta really be spinning your wheels for a very long time to come to any sort of a conclusive proof that something is like the meta. Because, like, what are your armor augments? What are your charms? You know? How much time do you want to spend grinding out the other augments? You know? Like, do you even have access to the 110 afflicted research level plus? You know, it's like 5% of people apparently have broke MR 100. You know what I mean? And even then it's like, you know, all right, Flaming Espinosa might be best on one weapon against one monster, and then you've got all these other things going on as well. You know, maybe this one thing doesn't take enough poison. Maybe you don't want to run foray. Maybe you run or don't run pets. You know? To think that things like degraded to the point in the Monster Hunter Reddit, and I kind of get it, because you go to the Monster Hunter meta subreddit, and if you're a drooling paste eater, you just want to click on the post and get one post that says, this is the best fire greatsword, or this is the best fire longsword, or this is the best fire dual blades. And I get it, because you should, but I think all you can really do is say, this is the, you can do like the theoretical maximum, but what I think is much more useful to more players is like, what is the best value overall, and then what would be the best min-max thing? And I was saying that for a long time, like, if you had 4 points of free handicraft or whatever, then, and I guess now it's like not even handicraft because we got handicraft plus, but whatever, you get all these extra free points, you can start using the even harder to use weapons, right? So you look at like the Gossarar Greatsword or Hammer and stuff, it's got negative 15% affinity. It's probably pretty close to meta on its own, but it's even more meta if you start getting all these free points, and like Agitator and stuff like that. If you're running poison pets and you're using Foray and stuff like that. Do you want evade window? Do you want any protection skills? I'm kind of getting anist. I'm not playing enough Monster Hunter Rise, but like my butthole is being pounded by these 110 plus afflicted monsters. It's kind of nice having 2 points of divine protection, or a couple points of speed eating. A group got mad, he used ghillie tricks and advanced fatalis and said they took away damage from the head break? What? I mean, you could always like Farcaster back and switch it, but like, were they worried about like your 2 points of attack? That's weird. And like the state of speedruns in Rise, there's like the opinions on modding versus not modding versus TA rules versus modded TA rules versus not modded TA rules, but I modded in my equipment. It's just like, it's a mess, man. It's like a real mess. It used to be real easy because most of the TAs were set by the Japanese community, which were playing on console and didn't mod anything in. Now, like, I get it. Like, there's some stuff that makes runs a lot more convenient that may or may not be cheating. And then there's stuff that is 100% you mod in and you are 100% cheating. And what can you do? Especially if it can't be proven. Like, you've got your guaranteed average size monster at a fixed spawn with lowest health roll. Can't prove it necessarily, not unless... I was talking to one of the guys, Retro. I was on his podcast at one point and I let loose about cheating in Monster Hunter in general. And he was saying he really wanted to try and come up with a mod that would determine or like spit out a code or something at the end of whether or not somebody was running mods or not. Was Madigan as bad in Iceborne compared to Sunbreak? Who knows? Yes. There was a huge argument. It was like, I think it was before Iceborne came out or just after Iceborne came out. And like a bunch of Western runners came out and said, oh, and by the way, we've all been using mods this whole time to fix monster size and spawn location, and we don't think it's cheating. And then people were like, hey man, I think that's cheating. They're like, no, you're dumb and stupid, and we're right. And I was like, I only entered into the conversation in YouTube comments, and I'm like, it's real frustrating getting bad rolls in an RTA run. But that's what makes the run interesting, If you get a perfect run every time, is that interesting or entertaining to watch? As like an isolated thing, like a tool assisted like Mario run where he's always bouncing perfectly on everything. He's able to like phase through blocks and crap like that. I mean, it's a novelty, but like how much of that work was done by a player versus how much of that work was done by a computer? I don't know. I mean, I've always thought a genuine run done not perfectly is way more interesting to watch than a hacked run done nearly perfectly. Because you don't know, like, you don't know whether or not, like, they would have gotten those results. They could have gotten those results normally. Ravix, the only thing you can do, and a little bit of this problem here is still 8-year-old Android tablet, is like, if you wanted to do a console run, you got to play on the Switch. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone right now. At the very least, next-gen Monster Hunter, you'll have next-gen consoles, you'll have your Xbox, you'll have your PlayStation, and you can do runs there, and you're in the bracket of people who have to play according to the rules. TC had runs using turbo macros for ledge and labeled them as tool assisted. And that's completely fine. It's insane enough tech as it is. And, if you're using tool assisted, you just label it tool assisted, A lot of those things, like, even regarding the whole turbo shitstorm, to be able to do the routing, the menuing, and to do the dozens of runs a day, like, that's already showing you're a really good player. It's just, when you use something that's literally tool assisted, you kind of got to say it. Doesn't make you a bad player. It just means you prefer playing that way. TSC said his best tool assisted Lunar run took 50 hours. It's still a lot of work. You still have to do everything else perfectly. And there's still a lot of menuing and positioning. It doesn't necessarily take anything away, but it adds a level of legitimacy. But as is, it's so fragmented. Dragon Ball when? Isn't Dragon Ball like... Are we talking about Kakarot or are we talking about Breakers? Isn't Breakers down? What about Turbo? So I feel bad for the people that get all mixed up in the Monster Hunter Meta subreddit. I don't really go there. I haven't checked it in quite a while. My opinion is still, if you're looking for the best weapon, evaluate it based on the amount of value you have in there. We're gonna beat Boob. Make the 3rd video. I found some of my data from someplace. Just ultimate power bomb, pile driver all of my enemies to the ground. The hardest part, some small part of my heart really honestly believed, and this is how naive I am. I still have a certain level of naivete in my mind, is that people will go out there, use the scientific method to replicate what I said and then come to their own conclusions. And instead, it's just they all just crap their pants. Couldn't figure out anything. Couldn't even use a video editor, let alone count frames. So, when's my Wild Hearts 20 hours impressions video? I have not been reached out to at all by EA or Koei Tecmo. I at one point got one email from that guy, but I think it was like 4 years ago. I think Duels is a very good weapon to use on Fatalis. Yeah, no, really. If I had it, I would have released it. I don't got anything. I told the talent agency about the game. We'll see. I don't know. Some people already broke NDA on what they can show. Go get them, guys. Go get them. The funny thing is, it would appear to me that at a certain size, maybe it's any size, you can just break NDA and suffer 0 consequences. Like, does nobody care? Seems like nobody cares. I don't think so. I don't know. Should we watch the Wild Farts? Apparently there's a lot of stuff. They broke it because they rushed 3 videos out and the agency was vague. I always err on the side of not saying anything. Because a lot of times, it's just the only company that's ever really good about specifying NDAs is Capcom's pretty good in general. They're good about saying when you could release footage. They're not very good about saying when you can even talk about if you're going to release footage. If you break NDA, the company won't send you review codes anymore? I mean, even still, I mean, you might be surprised. You didn't tell us what the Reddit mods did to each other. Oh, they got into an argument. So the ultimate argument was they had two different lists of meta. And because there were two different lists, they got into an argument about what was meta. And then one of the older mods started banning all the other mods. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you could literally have multiple lists. You could have like meta at MR12. You could have meta at MR100, afflicted 110. And you could have meta at that plus I've hacked the hell out of all of my augments and talismans. There's at least 3 metas. And then it's per monster, you know? I mean, where's that image? Hold on, let me see if I have it. I don't know what this is. That's not it. All right, hold on. I'm sorry, I don't know why that was there. That's not my next catch. I'm not getting that. Nope. I know it's here. Hold on. I might have to look for it again. All right, hold on. Hold on, it's here. If there's one thing we could say that's probably 100% true, it's Flaming Espinos is probably meta against Kezu. Like, I feel like all that really matters for most players is having one meta weapon in each one of these matchups. Legal cannibalism? I don't want to actually eat a person. I just kind of want to know what the flavor is. I mean, it's like meta just gets like, you immediately get into a weird headspace with meta. Because in theory, meta should just mean the strongest. Most effective tactic available. Or whatever. But I mean, as long as you got one good setup for each of the weapons you like playing against each one of these guys that are probably AR3 and above, does it really matter? Do you think we're going to get a third level of dire materials? Yes. I think we probably will. I think there'll probably be one that's 121 plus for everything up to A5, and then A6 will probably be like 131. And then A7 might just be like 140. Something like that. Oh, we'll definitely have A7. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm assuming it'll stop at A7. You know, you'll get your Elder Dragons. Elders have risen? Well, all right. What's the... Well, you have maybe Furious Rajang. What's the Wild Hearts video? I think we're going to watch the one that's... somebody said Mr. Happy is good. I mean, they could put the Risens in the Afflicted ones. All right, hold on. Let me take a look at the large monster list. I mean, we've got, like, Seething Basil, Silver and Gold. Right? Who else? Furious Rajang, maybe? A Dangerous First Class? I mean, we'll probably see something like a Fatalis or a Latrion, or I guess maybe a Gogmazios at some point. Although somebody has pointed out that we've seen a whole lot of recolors. Maybe the Violet Mitsu and the Flaming Espinos could even get added. Scorn Magnamalo. Those are all things that could be added there. You're wasting your time until the inevitable Fatalis release. I'll say this. I don't think you should... I agree with you on one point. I would not freak out about meta. However, when you say wasting your time, nothing is going to hurt more than grinding straight from like Afflicted Research 1 up to Afflicted Research 140 once the end game is finally fully dropped and out there. That's gonna suck. Like, you will burn out hard at that point. It is not gonna be fun. People are already burning out. We're wasting our time until the next Monster Hunter? Why even play this Monster Hunter when new Monster Hunter is coming? You know, I don't know. Like, why do anything? It was, I'll agree, in Monster Hunter World, you had a compulsion to fine-tune your sets because there was a lot more of an emphasis on actual multiplayer. But in Rise, like, multiplayer is generally harder than solo play. Depending. If you're with good people, it's quite a bit easier. But I would like to get AR 120 and get it's a pipe dream. It will probably not happen. I would love before the title update to get, what the hell was it? Pyrarachnicadachi, Gormagala, Lunagaron or Tigrex, Diablos or Seregios, Mitsu, I don't know, probably Barioth? Gossarog. Pyre's just a butthole. Sorry, no, not Pyre. Normal Rachna's a butthole. Shogun's fine. Anjanath and Toby are really fun. Rathian's really not that fun. Neither's Pookie. It's just like, it's like work, man. It just feels like work. It doesn't like in World, you would join up and you do a bunch of grinding for like Great Elder Dragon Gems or whatever the hell they were, the crystals, and like decorations. But like you got a little bit of like a random reward. So like you got a little bit of that Pavlovian operant conditioning reward. In this game, it's just like, I'm just beating the hell out of stuff so I can level them up and then hopefully never fight them again. Great Spirit Vein Gems. Thank you. Afflicted Rajang was fun with Longsword? I don't believe you. All right. Mr. Happy. That sounds like a porn website. He has a 16-minute video on Wild Hearts. Does not appear to be pornography. All right, we'll watch it. We'll watch it. We'll comment on it. Gonna play Randomized World again. Yes. Before the heat death of the universe, we'll absolutely play Randomized Monster Hunter. The tool I was using I loved it, but like it needs some work because like I was getting some bugs with it. More closer, I've been thinking about doing Iceborne runs again with a cutscene skip. But what I want is for low rank and high rank not to have Claw Stagger and to use the pre-Iceborne moveset. And then when I start Iceborne, to have Claw Stagger and then have the post-Iceborne moveset. And I don't know if that's possible. But I would like it. I don't know. I was trying to find the one guy that created the Valor Longsword mod on the Mod Nexus. And he mostly speaks Chinese. Which, I mean, I could do a little bit, but probably not enough. So, if there was a way to flag your character with a mod to say that you did not have Iceborne for your moveset alone, that would be perfect. Any plans for another all Monster Hunter challenge? You mean like an all credits challenge? Absolutely. Soon? I don't know. Maybe. I've got other games I'm playing soon. Like, we've got Ball Breakers this Friday. We've got, I mean, it's probably only going to be a day or two. We've got the new DLC for Strangers of Paradise at the end of this month. So we've got that. I don't know if there's anything in November. Maybe we could do one in November. November or December, it might be possible. Not necessarily 1.0 base world, like, but kind of. Like, I'm fine with, like, the Iceborne values, but I want to be using the pre-Iceborne moveset. Maybe the try-server public beta before you do another Monster Hunter Marathon? Well, when I do Monster Hunter Marathon, I'm usually just doing the story, though. There will be new Griffin. I will definitely do the Griffin a little bit in Strangers of Paradise. God of War? I mean, I guess I'll play it. Claw Stagger's no problem. The thing is, the main thing is I don't want to have the Clutch Claw because I don't want to be tempted to use it. Not that you really want to use it in low rank and high rank anyways, especially without Claw Stagger. And I definitely don't want the ability to use Slinger Bursts. Bayonetta 3? I haven't even played Bayonetta 1 and 2. Dragma Ball's abandoned, but Dragon Ball's resurrected. I want to do HelloFresh. Do I have a coupon code for it?
23 months. Shep, I want to do HelloFresh.
Yeah.
Do you have a coupon code for it?
How long is this thing going for? Until that's good for another 12 days, I think. So if you get it, thank you. I'm getting my HelloFresh box today. It's going to go in my Hello hole. I think Slinger Burst, this is the rarest take. I think this Slinger Burst is the single worst thing that ever happened to Monster Hunter speedrunning. Real-time speedrunning. It is literally the worst thing that they could have done. I don't know why they didn't balance it for low rank and high rank. I mean, it's true. Nefudis isn't here, but he said it like pure stream narcolepsy is watching somebody waddle around in Guardian armor with a defender weapon, slinger bursting monsters to death. It's like there's no point in watching. Why do you need a mod for attacks that you could really just not use? What if you used it by accident? Right? And that's always what I say. Like, you didn't intend to do it, but what if I accidentally nudged the shoulder button while I was charging my hammer? You start over, right? Glutton or any Lipogan Tia run are worse to watch, but even still. So even if you get that out though, say I want to use Switch Axe and I'm again using the Iceborne mod, I can still clutch claw zoom onto things and zero sum butt boy things to death. You know, I want it to be consistent so like I don't have to worry about that part of my brain. You know what I mean? When's the no wirebug mod run? It's just Rise has got problems, man. You know, unless you straight up, and maybe I would. If I was ever to run Rise again seriously, I would have to see if there was a mod that straight up just removed the Rampage quests. Maybe keep Bear and Izuchi. What is his name? Narwa Izuchi? What the hell is his name? Abusi? Abushi. Thank you. I was going to a dark place there. But I mean, they're just not, it's like not a good part of the run. And even still, like, I feel like with low rank and high rank in World, those are still somewhat entertaining fights. Rise is just not low rank and high rank. I mean, I just don't know that it just doesn't feel like it's an entertaining game. Why would I spend time running a game that I don't feel is very entertaining when I could be speedrunning World or 4 Ultimate? Or doing like no bomb runs in some 3rd gen game. I've done 4U speedruns. They're on my channel. So they're good. 3U, I mean 3U though, like you need to set like, I'm not going to use bombs, because if you allow bombs, you go to the speedruns, it's just like trap, bomb, bomb, combine, bomb, bomb, trap, bomb, combine, bomb, and then the thing is dead. You don't use bombs in your run, maybe it's okay. But I think 4U is a pretty fun speed run game. Up through Shigaru is a pretty entertaining run. Rampage is better to watch than Zora, but worse to run because Zora's a breather. Zora 1 and Zora 2 are over so quickly, though. You're probably right. But like, I enjoy Zora 1 and 2 because it's like it's a time to chat to people. All right. Wild Farts. We're going to watch some Wild Farts gameplay. Hold on. Don't. It's not a rerun. I thought I fixed that.